Hi YouTube, it's Mama Doe Dawn, and today we are going to be talking about my $5,000 loan that I owe to my father. I mentioned this in my budget recap videos and my debt payoff videos. I talk about this frequently, but I haven't talked about why exactly I owe $5,000 to my dad. So today I wanted to talk about that with you guys. Why did I take $5,000 to my dad, and why am I paying it back? So in order to fully understand the $5,000 that I owe him, we have to go all the way back to shortly after Charlotte was born. About 2 weeks after she was born, her dad moved out of the house, and I stayed around in the area where he was at. He was stationed at a military base, and I wanted to give him the chance to be as present in Charlotte's life as he could be. It was a struggle for us. He had just gotten back from a deployment in Iraq. I was dealing with all of the postpartum hormones, a C-section, and the lifestyle change of caring for a newborn, and we just couldn't make it work. I stayed there for 3 months. I was left in a lease on a house that was huge and way more than I could afford at the time. I was exhausting myself financially trying to stay there and to allow him to be an active part in Charlotte's life, and it just wasn't working. We were not working, and I realized I needed a better support system, and I needed to be in a place where I could be financially stable with Charlotte. And when I finally came to that realization, which was a really hard one to come to because I didn't want to leave and just kind of give up on having a family. By that point, though, I had no money left, and I needed help. So I had already had so many loans at that point in time, I was scared to take out another one, and I didn't know if I'd be able to make the minimum payments on another one. So I called my dad, and he is just one of those, he's very well off financially by his own doing. He came from an extremely poverty-stricken background and just worked his butt off and has become extremely financially stable and just an awesome role model in so many ways, but especially in the Department of Finances. So I called him. My parents were aware of my situation. They knew I was getting a divorce and, you know, had become a single mom and was just struggling. And without a second thought, he gave me $5,000, which was enough to help me break my lease so I could pay off my lease for that expensive place that I couldn't afford, to pay for a U-Haul, to pay for packing help, because there was no way I was going to be able to get a lot of I had packed everything in boxes by myself while taking care of my newborn, and then but I needed help moving heavy items like a washer and a dryer and a kitchen table and those kinds of things. So I needed movers for that. I also needed help on a down payment for a new place, and basically just getting set up in the new place. I didn't go crazy with the money. I didn't spend it stupidly. It was very planned, and there was a lot of thought to put into how I was going to spend that $5,000. So he basically helped me transition and keep stability with Charlotte, and then I could continue to put in the money that I needed to for my Amazon business without drawing out so much that I wouldn't be able to build it back up to a place where it would be financially worthwhile for me to continue staying home and working full-time with her. So he saved my business, he saved my sanity, he saved my financial well-being, my stability. He saved Charlotte and I's position at that point in time. It was definitely one of the most difficult times in my life, and I have never asked my parents for money. I have been pretty smart with my money up until marrying my ex-husband. I purchased a house in cash in Alaska. I had been really smart with money, and my ex-husband, he used debt to get a lot of what he wanted, and I just jumped on that bandwagon, and it built me up to a place where I had so much debt and I was living way beyond my means that I needed help. And thank goodness for my father. It took a lot in me to humble myself enough to ask my parents for financial help, and oh my goodness, am I forever grateful. I did it mainly because I had a child. Otherwise, I just would have suffered through and lived in my van for a little while. But I could not do that with a child. Absolutely not. And now we are back on our feet. We're financially stable. You can see our budgets every single month. We're in a much better place. And that is all because of the $5,000 that my dad gave me to be able to get to this new place. I'm also closer to my parents, so they can come, they can see Charlotte, they can visit. It's amazing. It's so awesome to have them around. So yeah, I've mentioned many times that I have taken $5,000 from my father and I owe him the $5,000 back. He has agreed to let me pay off the interest-bearing like debts first. So I'm paying off everything that's concurring interest before I work on that $5,000 from him, which is very helpful. He's just trying really hard to allow me to get back on my feet safely with Charlotte and to really create financial stability for ourselves, which I am eternally grateful for. I could not be in the position I am without him, and I realize that it is a huge privilege to have a parent who can offer that kind of support for you, and I am beyond grateful, and I feel extremely blessed to be able to have that. So, yeah, I just wanted to make a video being really candid and talking about why I owe that $5,000 to my father, because it is mentioned very frequently throughout this channel, and I thought I would give you guys a brief description as to why I owe that money. So, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.